Olá! No vídeo de hoje falaremos sobre algo que atualmente aparece corriqueiramente tanto em vídeos, filmes quanto videogames dos Transformers. Algo que para as crianças de hoje chega a ser banal, mas que na década de 80 era algo praticamente místico. Hoje falaremos sobre um computador. Esse em particular já foi ele, já foi ela, já teve até uma filha, veja só, hein? E já salvou nossos heróis inúmeras vezes. Isso quando ele não estava travado. Mas antes do vídeo começar, galera, não se esqueça daquele like arrasador. Verifique se você está inscrito. Se não for inscrito, se inscreva para receber nossas notificações. E compartilhe com seus amigos. Faça aquele comentário para aumentar a relevância do vídeo. E não se esqueça também que a nova Cybertron tem um grupo no Facebook. Lotado de conteúdo lá. E toda segunda-feira tem The Basic. Essa série maravilhosa criada pelo Chris McFeely. Um abraço e vamos pro vídeo.
In the fight against the Decepticons, the Autobots have few assets more valuable than the subject of this week's episode, the onboard computer of their spaceship and headquarters, the Ark. These are the basics on Teletraan I. Though not a true living machine being like the Autobots, the Ark's computer is an autonomous thinking machine with great logical reasoning and analytical capabilities. It was created by Marvel Comics writer Jim Shooter as part of the original story treatment he wrote during the development of the Transformers franchise in 1983. In Shooter's story, which was adapted into both the first issue of the comic book and the first episode of the animated series, the Transformers arrived on Earth when the Autobot spacecraft was attacked by the Decepticons and crash-landed on the planet, burying itself in a dormant volcano. The crash knocked the ship's computer and all the Transformers aboard offline, in which state they would remain for 4 million years. Until the volcano erupted in 1984, the vibrations jarring the computer back to life. The computer sent out a probe to scan the new planet it found itself on, and mistakenly concluded that the machines of Earth were the world's dominant life forms. The computer set about reactivating the Transformers, rebuilding their bodies with new alternate modes based on Earth's machines. But due to damage caused by the crash, it was temporarily unable to differentiate between the Autobots and Decepticons, and restored both factions alike, after which the Autobots turned the crashed ship into their headquarters on Earth. In his treatment, Shooter referred to the computer with female pronouns, and gave her the whimsical name of Auntie, describing her as the brain of the Autobot spaceship. However, the treatment was subsequently revised to remove this name, changing things so that both the computer and the ship were referred to by one shared name, the Ark. Despite this change, however, a single mention of Auntie did accidentally slip into the first issue of the Marvel comic book, and from there she also appeared in full in a story written exclusively for the United Kingdom's version of the series. In this story, Auntie malfunctioned after being damaged during another Decepticon attack on the Ark, and decided to end the war herself. Manifesting as a huge holographic head, she captured all the Transformers in a magnetic field, and staged a trial to determine which of the two factions most deserved to survive, intending to kill the losers. But fortunately, before she could reach a verdict, Ravage escaped her magnetic hold and managed to deactivate her. Auntie didn't appear in the comic again after that, and to date, she's only resurfaced in the comic's 21st century sequels and spin-offs, Regeneration 1 and Transformers 84, the latter of which retroactively declared that Auntie was an acronym that stood for Artificial Utility Nexus Tactical Intelligence Entity. The ship's computer would enjoy greater fame in the animated series, in which it was given a new, unique name, Teletraan I, and in contrast to the female Auntie, was voiced by male actor Casey Kasem.
Warning, evil presence now infiltrating Autobot headquarters.
Teletraan I was one of the Autobots' most useful tools in the series. Constantly monitoring Earth via its Sky Spy satellites, it could alert the Autobots to Decepticon activity around the globe, and its vast database and computational abilities allowed it to solve most problems posed to it, especially when the Autobots' human friend, computer whiz Chip Chase, was behind its keyboard. The Decepticons would even target Teletraan directly several times, seeking to plunder its databanks, or take it offline to prevent it from detecting their schemes. And it took its fair share of lumps throughout the series, culminating in its destruction at the beginning of the cartoon's third season, when the Autobot ship was demolished by the giant Decepticon, Trypticon. Teletraan I was replaced by Teletraan II, a new computer based on Cybertron. Kasem was originally intended to continue on in this new role, until a disagreement with producers over the one-sided stereotypical depiction of evil Arab characters in the episode Thief in the Night resulted in his departure from the series, leading to Frank Welker being cast to replace him. Teletraan I would reappear in the 1996 animated series Beast Wars, when the Maximals and Predacons, the descendants of the Autobots and Decepticons from centuries in the future, travelled back in time to prehistoric Earth and accessed the Ark while it was still offline within the volcano. Infamously, the computer's name was frequently mispronounced as Teletraan during this series, an error that was humorously addressed on screen in the final episode.
Main thruster is now connected to Teletraan I.
It's Teletran!
Whatever.
For a long time, Beast Wars was the only series other than the original cartoon in which Teletraan I featured significantly. The Autobots and Maximals of other cartoons were generally served by their own unique computers, including the Nave computers featured in Japanese Beast Wars spin-offs Beast Wars Second and Beast Wars Neo, perky, cheerful female artificial intelligences housed in tiny robot avatars, and TIE, the tactical artificial intelligence from 2001's Robots in Disguise, embodied in a holographic avatar of a uniformed young girl who identified herself as the daughter of Teletraan I. However, as the 21st century progressed, new incarnations of Teletraan I eventually began to appear in new Transformers series. In Transformers Animated, a female version of Teletraan I served as the computer of the Autobot spacecraft, which was itself the alternate mode of the dormant Autobot Omega Supreme. In the Fall of Cybertron video game, Teletraan was previously based in the Autobot city of Iacon on Cybertron, before being transferred to the Ark as the Autobots prepared to evacuate the planet. Remote access Teletraan terminals scattered across the planet allowed players to upgrade their weapons throughout the game. The computer made a very brief cameo in the live-action Bumblebee movie, appeared in the Transformers Cyberverse animated series, which notably repeated the pronunciation error from Beast Wars, and was most recently featured in Netflix's War for Cybertron. The War for Cybertron toy line included the first official piece of Teletraan I merchandise, a collectible, buildable cardboard backdrop of the computer, a different piece of which was packed in with each figure. Other computers in the Teletraan series that have appeared across Transformers history have included Teletraan III, the first new Teletraan series computer to be introduced, which controlled Cybertron's Space Bridge network in the Devil's Due Publishing G.I. Joe vs. Transformers comic book. The acerbic Teletraan X and the cute but unfortunate Teletraan 15, humanoid robots developed to act as living extensions of Teletraan I, featured in the 15 Go Go manga. Teletraan Alpha, the computer of the lost Autobot colony ship Proudstar, seen in the Transformers Devastation video game, the first of the Teletraan series so powerful it could predict the future. And most notably, Teletraan X, a cheerful little drone from Transformers Cyberverse, who acted as a mobile backup unit for Teletraan I. Teletraan X was ejected from the Ark by Teletraan I as the ship fell through Earth's atmosphere, and the drone would spend millions of years attempting to find the Ark's crash site. Eventually, he crossed paths with Bumblebee and Windblade, and working together, they located the Ark, only to discover that Teletraan I was permanently offline, damaged beyond repair by the crash. In response, Teletraan X proceeded to fulfill his destiny, uploading himself to the Ark and taking Teletraan I's place as the ship's mainframe. It's recently been revealed that the upcoming 2021 toy line, War for Cybertron Kingdom, will feature a huge transforming Ark figure. We don't yet know if the ship's computer will be the controlling intelligence behind this gigantic robot, but it's not impossible that Teletraan I might be about to enjoy its biggest role since the day it awoke the Transformers. And those are the basics on Teletraan I. If you've enjoyed this look at Transformers history and lore, hit the like button and make sure to subscribe for lots more. Ring the bell to be notified about future episodes, or get early access to them by supporting the series on Patreon.